Well, hello, fellow worm farmers. I like to mess something up, doesn't I? This is Larry again with the Wiley Worm Farm. It's time again to feed my worms. Before I start, I want to tell you something. I have learned a very valuable lesson I learned about worm farming, and if you don't know this, it'll be a benefit to you. But I learned after trial and error, and I watched a lot of videos, and for some reason, I should have learned that in the videos, but I didn't. I had to learn it with trial and error. But what happened was a couple of my bins had just gotten much more moist than I was accustomed to. And I was concerned how I was going to dry some of that moisture out, but I didn't dry it out. But I'll tell you what did happen. My worms exploded with growth. They loved the moisture. Now I've got all my bins much more moist than I had to start with. Another thing also I'd like to share with you, I made a video this week. I had it made through artificial intelligence on worm farming. It's a 4.5 minute video, and I will put a link to that video at the bottom. But let me tell you some of the video. That video is a very informative video, and I challenge you to watch that video. I think it would benefit you in your worm farming. So let's dive. I'll put a link to that at the end, by the way. So let's dive right in and look at this bin. This is bin number 200. This bin, I actually got these worms on my birthday, June the 5th of 2023, which is last year. We're now, I got a worm right there on my bubble right there, Mr. Cameraman. You see that worm crawling around there? I actually got these worms on my birthday, June the 5th of last year. Today is January the 6th. And I see my worms are just really tore into this paper. I've learned that to put the newspaper on top and then keep it good and moist, and the worms really love newspaper. So I'll put this aside, and I'll tear that up later. I don't want to bury you with all of this time here. But anyway, here we are, bin number 200. And look at the worms in here, folks. Worms everywhere, worms. I got good worms. And I've noticed on the edges, my bin is very dry. I've noticed that in a couple of bins or 2 or 3 bins. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my bubble wrap a little bit wider. We'll cover my bin a little bit. Look at here. Look at the bins, the worms, rather. I bought this bin. I bought this from Mimi's Worms. And again, I'll put a link at the bottom down on Mimi Worms. Mimi's in Valdosta, Georgia. And Mimi sells pure red wigger worms. Now, she has some mix. It's got blues in it. She wants to get rid of those, and she's got those on sale right now. If you want some mixed worms, Mimi's got those. But we've got look here, folks. We got some good population worms right here. Spread these out. Bin's looking good. And if you notice, can you tell how moist that is right there? Look how moist that is right there. That's the moisture I like. And it took me a while to learn that, but I've learned it. It's been a real blessing to me because the worms, I've discovered worms like that moisture. Okay, I got it flipped up pretty good, so let me make me a feeding spot right here in the middle and feed my worms. And I'm going to put this newspaper right down here at the bottom because they'll work on this newspaper. This will hold the moisture in the newspaper, and the worms will chow down on that newspaper, and they'll eat the rest of that newspaper. So that's a good place to put that newspaper right down here. Okie dokie, folks. And let's feed the worms. Here we go. I got some worm chow. I don't have any vegetable scraps today. I've just got worm chow. And you know what? I'm going to put this on the top. Let me wait just a minute on the worm chow. I'm going to put that on the top so I can check into my worm bin ever so often. But I got some coffee grounds here I want to put in here. I've got enough of the filters there, so I'll just put these filters aside and just use the coffee grounds. Put my coffee grounds in here. Oh, I got it spilled here, Mr. Cameraman. You have made a mess. You have went and made a mess, Mr. Cameraman. Look what you did. I'll blame it on you. But anyway, there we go for that. And I'll cover that up since I'm not going to put any worm chow in there. I'm going to put it on the top so I can open it and check it every so often. But what I do want to do is put some fresh newspaper in here. Got a couple of my local shopper papers here that work real good for me. I'll put them in here and I'll wet it down because they like it real moist. Worms get all over that and they chow into it. I mean, they really chow into it. Let me pull this one up so I get the bottom and they're real wet, real moist. I don't quite understand why worms like newspaper, but they do, and that's what matters. And I'm in the worm business, so I will feed them newspaper. I get all the free newspaper I want. I usually go to the local farmer's market and get some vegetables, but I went a couple of days ago, and they had just the day before had dumped all of their leftover vegetables in the scrap. So I wasn't able to get any vegetables this week. So I'll give them worm chow. There we go. Oh, by the way, I sat down today. I'd already started on, but I finished it up today. I made a new worm bin today. I counted out all total 1,000 worms and started a new worm bin with 1,000 worms. And as you probably know already, worms will populate. They'll double in population about every 90 days, or even more, even quicker if they're taken care of well. They're fed right. And by the way, don't overfeed your worms. However often you feed your worms. As for me, I feed my worms about every 7 days. And I try not to put no more than what the worms will eat in 7 days. Because when I go in there and feed my worms, I want them to be chowing down on some newspaper or something because they have just finished up whatever food I fed them. And we're getting close to getting wrapped up here. Well, look here what I've done. I put that paper on there and forgot to put my worm chow on first. I'm so forgetful, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But when a fellow gets my age, he don't remember things like he used to. Things are not like they used to be when you get to be my age. And by the way, I'm 73. I'm a 1950 model. I'm not going to put too much. I'll come back in here in 2 or 3 days and check it. And if they need more worm chow, I'll give them more worm chow. Here's something else I was just about to forget, Mr. Cameraman. You're letting me forget too much. You'll have to help me out here a little bit. And that is my eggs, my ground up eggs. And the worms need this to digest the food that they're eating. And that's about the end of that. I got some more eggshells I got to grind up. Get them ready. And now I think I'm ready to put my bubble wrap on and wrap this video up for today. So this will wind this one up. Until next time, remember to like, and if you're not subscribed, please do so. That helps us out. Gets the message out a little more. And hit that like button helps my algorithm to grow. So please do that. Don't forget, I will put a few videos at the bottom for Mimi's Worms and also for my own worm farm. And for the one I told you about earlier, the video I made. I challenge you to watch that. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up today. This is there again with Wiley Worm Farm. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time we make a video. Have a good one.